Hey, welcome to episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Doing a beer that I had about 2 years ago. We actually did this in a Tuesday night beer school. I remember liking it, but I don't remember it being a good example of the style. This is another Polish beer from Komes. Actually, it's Browar Fortuna. Komes Barley Wine, 12% ABV, product of Poland. Rich in malty character, intense aroma. Top fermented beer, very rich, intense aroma. And then they have the fresh and malty when it's fresh, and dry and complex when it ages. Cannot make heads or tails of this bottling code, so who knows how old this is. I'm just going to assume it's old. I poured it into the fancy stem tulip glass, and not surprisingly, it's probably call it like a burgundy brown color. It's, kind of murky. If I hold it up to the light, I can see some kind of amber hues there. You can sort of see that on camera. Didn't get much of a foam, but it hasn't completely dissipated. It's not completely unusual for a barley wine head to fizzle. Before we get to the smell, I just wanted to bring up the website. So I think they've updated this since the last time I saw it. They say it's actually brewed with American hop varieties, high extract content. And actually, if you click right here, whoops. So look, it's made with Amarillo, Columbus, Citra, and Chinook yeast. Wow. So this is definitely an American barley wine, not an English one, which is what we scored it to for Tuesday Night Beer School. Might have to redo that style, but we can't get any English barley wines here. So let's give this thing a whiff. This is just like a fruit bomb. This is like, it's like figgy pudding. Even though I've never actually had that, but I imagine that's what it smells like. Yeah, I would call this like figs, dates, raisins. It's almost like Belgian-y, but if you remove the spicy content, but it's like those fruits, all those dark dried fruits. Slightly chocolatey, slightly Tootsie Roll. I would not call it roasty. Yeah, just there is like a definite toffee kind of note in there, maybe treacle, something like that. Make your own sundae bar, as I always say. To me it's more toffee than caramel or chocolate. I mean, there's like a slight, like I said, slight kind of Tootsie Roll in there, but otherwise it's just like, if you ever had the actual Belgian date syrup or, candy syrup, it kind of smells like that. You can definitely pick up on the alcohol, but I will say it's clean. It's not burning my nose or anything. I'm trying to they mention all those hops, and oddly enough, like you would think, there's like a slight kind of citrus component here, but I'm not getting like, Chinook is like very piney and resiny, and I don't know, this one is, the malt on this one is the star of the show. So let's give this thing a taste test. Cheers. Well, I would say it tastes a lot like how it smells. It's very, very fruity, for sure. Very fruity, very confectionery. So, like right away, immediately, like the figgy pudding kind of flavor. And then as it crests, I get like I do get the hops. And it's interesting because like they use like what, four or five American varieties. But it's not especially bitter. Yeah. Fruity, vinous. This has like a slight kind of red wine character. But you know what? Because they're using American hops, like you would probably have to judge this as an American barley wine. But to me, the IBUs on this one seem very low. Like if we did a side-by-side with Sierra Nevada Bigfoot, that beer is like 10 times as bitter as this one. This one is all about the malt. Yeah. I would definitely say plum, fig, raisin. Definitely a confectionery notes. Like it's sweet, like slight caramel or toffee, slight Tootsie Roll pop kind of flavor. But those sweet flavors are in the background. The fruity flavors are front and center. That 12% it's actually surprisingly tame, I mean, there's definitely like a little residual warmth in my throat, but it's not distracting from the natural flavors of the beer. Like if I really pay attention, there's definitely some nice kind of orange citrus notes in there. Slight like a mandarin or like a blood orange slightly. I mean, it did say Amarillo, so I mean like that's a very citrusy hop. Oddly enough, I'm not really getting like pine or resin, which I was kind of hoping for with the Chinook. You know, I love Chinook. You know, you had Arrogant Bastard or even Sierra Nevada Celebration. You know what the Chinook hop is capable of. And like I feel like, and maybe this is just like a really old bottle. I just can't tell from this random string of numbers on the bottom here. I see 1944, 22-1. That is the 22 2022, which might make sense. I mean, this thing could be about 3 years old. I don't know. If anybody from the brewery or their representations watching, please let me know how to read these bottling codes. I'd love to know. Yeah, it's sweet, but it's not cloying. In fact, I wouldn't even, maybe sweet's the wrong word. Maybe I should call this rich because like this is like a rich malty flavor. With like, I mean, it's definitely much more sweet than it is bitter. In fact, I would prefer like a little bit more hops on this, especially if they're going for an American style barley wine. It's funny because like this one's kind of caught in the middle. This is, and I think we mentioned this on the Tuesday Night Beer School. Is like this has like the malty side of an English barley wine, like it's similar, reminiscent of J.W. Lee's, which to me is that's the yardstick by which all English barley wines are measured. But it doesn't have like, and they're using American hops, but it doesn't have like the hop intensity or the bitterness of like a Stone or a Sierra Nevada or Three Floyds or something. Would you be surprised if I told you the body's pretty big on this one? It's not quite as big as like Bourbon County, like where that's like a very full body. This one I'd probably call like full, maybe even medium full. Carbonation, it's not like completely flat. I mean, it's a thick beer, so you don't really need a whole lot of CO2. So yeah, I'd probably say low carbonation on this one, but not very low. Actual texture is, I mean, I'd call it smooth. That alcohol comes in, you know, kind of thins it out, kind of dries it out. Like I said, it's only, you know, a gentle warmth. This is not burning, which again leads me to believe that this bottle might be a little old. Let's top this off here. You know what? I am getting a little, now that I'm paying attention, I am getting a little oxidation note on there, which actually, if you read the specs, is fine. Because it kind of, actually, you know, it's not that it, I don't want to say that it complements the flavor. It's just that it's not distracting like the way it is, like, say, like in an IPA or something like that. Or like or a lower ABV beer. You know, it's like, you're getting like a little bit of sherry. Like I said, kind of a vinous quality on here. Like a little bit of red grape. I probably wouldn't say black currants, though. This is not sour. Not at all. Although, it would be cool if they did one. They should do a bourbon barrel version of this. All the Komes beers, they should do a bourbon barrel, variant. So, yeah, I like this one. Like I said, it's not quite American. It's not quite English. Maybe you could review this as a hybrid beer style. But yeah, for the price, by the way, this is only $5. $5 for a 500 ml. That's 16.9 ounces. And this is 12% ABV. The Imperial Stout is $6. And that's also 12% ABV. So, yeah, I really like this one. It's not perfect, but it's really good, especially considering the price. To me, this is like at least an 8.5, maybe 9. I really couldn't go higher than 9. Like I said, it's got a little bit of kind of a identity crisis or whatever, but there's nothing I don't like about it really. So yeah, I'm gonna say 9 out of 10 for the Komes Barley Wine. Probably not pronouncing that correctly. So if you watch all the way in, you're awesome because this was an extra long episode. Thanks for watching. I'll see you for Tuesday Night Beer School. Cheers. That's right, Logan.
somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews.
Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.
By the way, I haven't drank a big bottle of a big ABV beer by myself in a long time, but it's Friday night. I don't have to work tomorrow, so let's have a little party here. Cheers.